The Spin-off Podcast Network.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
And now, an inspiring story coming from Tinder's summer news team. A woman has defied the odds, making contact with real people that she didn't go to high school with. This follows yesterday's story of a woman who realised she hadn't had a conversation with someone outside of her university tube group in 3 months. Think you're in a bubble? Break out of it this summer with Tinder.
This episode is brought to you by Abercrombie. Build your fits of the day with Abercrombie's newest denim drop. Here's where to start. Abercrombie's 90s straight jean goes with any shirt from tees to sweater polos. Super versatile. Their loose and baggy jeans are more trend forward, so you can grab those and go out with your friends. Abercrombie's denim fits come in a range of washes. Build your looks around Abercrombie denim. Shop online or in store.
You know, like every single person we met was like, you've just got to get out and join a club. I was like, fuck off. Like,
Talofa lava, I'm Madeline Chapman, editor of The Spin-off. Welcome to Behind the Story, where I go behind the scenes of a big article on the spin-off from the week. If you want a weekly rundown of some of the best reads from the spin-off every Saturday, make sure you sign up to the weekend newsletter. This week, the spin-off hosted a Galentine's party at Ku Theatre in Auckland to celebrate the release of Bryn and Ku's Singles Club, a 6-part video series following 2 crack-up comedians on their quest for love. Brynley, Stent and Kura Forrester are both single and looking to change that. In Singles Club, they travel the country looking for love and speaking to all sorts of people about what it means to be single as you get older. The show was equal parts hilarious and heart-wrenching. After watching the first episode with a live audience, I spoke to Bryn and Ku about making such a vulnerable show, the chaos of dating on camera, and whether or not the search for love was fruitful. The first episode of Bryn and Ku's Singles Club is out now on the Spin-off, Instagram and YouTube, with new episodes released every Tuesday. Here's Brynley, Stent and Kura Forrester live on Behind the Story. This is a very personal and funny show, which not many people can pull off and not many people would try to. How did this come about, you two deciding to make this show together?
well, there's a fun little anecdote we like to tell that Brynley and I both got denied applications with the spin-off for our own shows. So, you know, like we were... Bryn had an idea for a TV show and she put a pitch in. Denied, same as me. Or I was like talking to Sophie Dawson about a potential show. Denied! And so the very clever Sophie Dawson, also co-creator of Bryn and Ku Singles Club. Yay! Absolutely legit. Like as clever as she is, she just went, you two get in a room and figure out what you've got in common that would make a good TV show. So we sat in a boardroom for half a day, not even that, and we wrote a list of things that we have in common. And
one was we'd done lots of theatre shows together, which was fun, but doesn't create exactly compelling viewing. I wouldn't say is accessible.
Comedians. And then quite up the top of the list was we're both in our 30s and we're both single, and that was how it started.
Originally it was going to be more of an interview show, I think. We were going to go around more interviewing other people about being single, more akin to Alice Sneddon's Bad News sort of vibe. Shout out. But then we got inspired. We were doing some research, and Sophie actually brought us this amazing show called Swiping America, which is very different to this, but it's like a reality show where these New Yorkers get out in New York and they go and do dating across America. And we were like, we want an element of this in there as well. So I think that's where the two worlds of interviewing and actually dating kind of met.
And the road tripping kind of friend quest all came together, yeah.
So you guys decided to make the show. You very much consented to making the show.
What's this question going to be?
I must say, you don't look keen at all to be doing anything in this show. Was that a bit of creative editing, or is it even downplaying maybe what was going on to try and get you along to those events?
It's definitely downplaying how much I didn't. Well, we both probably got. It's mainly the events. Like the show itself is really fun. We're both open book kind of people, and we both love talking about. We're happy to talk about being single and stuff like that, but. When it came to every event that we had to go to, that we had agreed to every step of the way, it was like beforehand, it was just like a first date, but times 100, because there's like cameras on you and it just feels super, super vulnerable. So it was just hard, I think. But we both chose to do it because we wanted to be brave. We wanted to be braver. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, there were definitely a lot of sort of psych up moments in our van/green room before we would go into an event. But Bryn and I have both said since we've seen the series that we would love to do season 2 now, because we're very aware of, like, it's almost like we're braver now because of this process. So I think we could kind of walk into those spaces a bit easier now. Do you reckon?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think, it felt at the time really weird because we were still looking on. Well, we were open to like meeting people, which I think felt super vulnerable to mix with cameras when you were actually doing it in practice. But now I think I'd be more balls to the wall. I think why not?
I guess on that note, it is, it says it's a quest for love. Obviously, there's lots of shows, like reality shows, that are about quest for love, where people go in for all sorts of reasons. How much of making the show was, we need to make an entertaining show, and how much was, I actually think I could meet somebody in the process?
We both very different. At the start, we were both really different. I was very cynical and was like, I'll just do it for the content. It'll be fun, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, this could be it. Like, imagine if I met someone. Imagine, like, how wild to meet your person on a TV show. So I was super optimistic going into it. But I think a big credit of the balance between entertaining and real goes to Leon Wadham, our director, who just said to us so many times when we were filming, it's brilliant, you're geniuses. But we didn't, it's very real what we're doing. It's like there's lots and lots of moments where it's sort of like I can't even remember some of the stuff we did because we shot so much, but I think Leon always had this sort of vision in his head of it being funny and vulnerable at the same time, and so I think we've achieved that. Yeah.
There are some really vulnerable moments throughout the show, and a lot of sort of talking about your honest feelings about being single and how they can sometimes oscillate. Did you have any notions going in about being single that you found were either challenged by talking to someone or meeting someone, or just completely calcified by your experience of this kind of like dating in the deep end?
I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but I think for me a huge thing I learnt during making this show is how tightly I held being single. Like, obviously I say it in the first step, right? Like, I think about it every day. So a huge part for me was, but I didn't realise till episode 6, and it kind of comes out that I was like, I don't want to hold it so tight. Why do I feel like it's something that needs to be fixed? Why am I so obsessed with being single? And so I've sort of really learned to let that go. But I had no idea I was going to learn that. I was like, like every single person we met was like, you've just got to get out and join a club. I was like, fuck off. Like, you've got to get out there and meet people. Like, we got the same advice over and over again from single people. However, there are some gems along the way of people we met. Like I had this 98-year-old maybe woman in Thames say to me, we just had crazy wisdom advice as well at the same time, but I've forgotten your question.
I think actually the thing that I've been reflecting on the most is that like we've been doing some radio interviews and stuff, and what I keep quoting my dad, who's in the audience tonight. Rob, where are you? I can't see him. He's around. Say hi to him. Yeah, say hi. There he is. Say hi to him if you see him. But I guess yeah, he's awesome. But I guess I've been reflecting on what a cool upbringing I've had and how lucky I've been that my parents both like instilled that you can just be awesome by yourself, and just because you don't have a partner doesn't mean that you're unworthy or whatever. And I think that was instilled in me so young and like so thoroughly as a kid that I was like, I definitely held that in my head. And so when I heard it like reflected back in episode 2, which my dad's in, I was like, yeah, this is all stuff I kind of already believe, I think. So yeah, that was a cool thing to remember, was just the wisdom that I already knew that I had in me. Yeah, but shout out to my parents. Yeah.
You two have great chemistry in the show, and you spend a lot of time talking to each other about quite vulnerable things. Was that stuff that you have talked about before? Was there an element of your friendship being single, or did it kind of just come out through the show?
Brynley and I first met at the dojo in the very 2016?
Yeah.
For the very first rehearsal of Camping, season 1. Shout out. And so we've known each other for a long time, and Bryn was in a long-term relationship then, and I was fluctuating. What's so funny? No, just kidding. And I think no. I don't think being single is the reason we're friends at all. I mean, it's just something that we lean on. You know, like as our friendship has grown, it's just a part of it. It's like everyone has friends that are single and needing support on that.
I think more so after the show, because now we've done the show that we have a touchstone to talk about. So like, I think now you're one of the first person I messaged about anything relationship wise. I'm like, this happened, coulda. So
yeah, I think we've learnt each other's anxieties around being single, like intimately. Like we really went there with each other. So of course I'm going to text Bryn if there's a new person on the scene or whatever, because she'll be like, "How are you feeling?" And she knows what we know what that means. Yeah.
This is the show covers kind of like events and a couple of actual dates, like first dates. Obviously that is, when you're filming a reality show or a documentary, you are relying on just hoping that there's good stuff that happens naturally. Do you have a first date or a date that you think would make excellent television?
That's happened to us in real life? Or?
Yes, like that. Even, I mean, maybe this is just my cooked brain, but sometimes you have a situation where you're like, this is unpleasant, but it would be real funny to watch if I wasn't in it.
Yeah, loads. Oh, fucking heaps.
I want to be anonymous with my. I don't want. I think there's one that I can think of, but I don't want to talk about it because I feel like it will be too incriminating to the person. And
I mean, for me, it's kind of like more moments in a date, you know, like it's going badly and they just say a real clanger and I'm like, I'm going to remember that for my stand-up, you know, like, yeah. Does anyone want to guess who I went on a date with the blazer? Oh, maybe we could give away a hat later. Oh, should we do it now?
Well, I was going to say, did anyone successfully lip read?
Yes. Who is that person? Oh, yeah, no, not if you know me and you already knew. If you don't know me, does anyone want to have a guess? Huh? Who? Also, before we do this, is he here? No way. No, filth.
Someone says Sonny Bill, but that's another person that could have.
No, but that's a great date story. That's my date story. I wish we'd filmed that. There could be some CCTV, Pizza Hut, Mana Esplanade.
Oh, I remember mine. So there was a guy that I went on a date with, a British guy, who was really obsessed with putting his hands in my mouth. like a puppet, like a fool, yeah.
Oh, this is great. I'm having a great time. Jesus. Yeah, there's lots of different people out there.
We're going to wrap it up soon. I kind of want to end on that, but I don't want to give away a spoiler, but maybe you've kind of hinted at a sort of spoiler. What's your relationship status now? You don't have to...
telling. I don't think we should tell.
Nah, it's spoilers to the end of I want everyone to watch till the end of the show and find out. Or I will say there's no wedding rings on my hand, so that's...
Still waiting.
So we're not going to say, Mad.
If you were to film a season 2 in a relationship, not in a relationship, what would be a kind of like a place or an event or something that you're like, after doing 6 episodes, you're like, shit, we maybe should have done that?
Italy. That's what I keep saying. Singles Club Italy, us with a whole bunch of beautiful Italians. America would also be quite funny, I think. Somewhere that's like a very different cultural kind of, culturally than New Zealand in terms of, and I just think Americans would be so...
It would be so fun to take Bryn and Ku's Singles Club to Italy. And we're just like, I'm just going on dates in Venice with like a GoPro on my head. It's like... Ciao, ciao. Buongiorno.
Prego, prego.
Prego.
Actually, I did have one follow-up to that, which is New Zealand is not known as being a very forward dating culture. So you two making a whole show about trying to meet new people, meet strangers, was it more or less difficult than you thought to find like people willing to go along with that who you had never met?
It was actually quite hard, like even at the events and stuff, like because often our awesome camera crew were quite far away, and so people would kind of talk to you and then they'd realise and then they'd skirt off or they'd get scared.
Bryn and I both wrote on our Tinder profiles and Bumble profiles, and the spin-off paid for us to have
and like Hinge as well.
The subscription. Thank you, spin-off.
We got the premiums.
We got premium, we got premium Tinder and
now I can never go back.
But we both wrote on our profiles that we were making a dating show, that we were very, very open about it, but we also said, but we are also genuinely looking for love. And my God, I'm a straight person, sadly. And I got quite a few messages from guys being like, is this my 5 minutes of fame? And I was like, absolutely not, absolutely not. But I did meet one genuine guy on Bumble, and we had a date in Wellington. You've got to watch the episode, but he was lovely, and so it was quite a good way to like find some genuine people that weren't too weird about the tally stuff. Yeah.
We did talk about, it was one of the episodes we were planning on one of them, maybe the production team set us up on a bunch of dates, but then Kura and I decided that we did genuinely want the show to be us genuinely dating, and neither one of us wanted to go on dates with people who had agreed to be on a television show for it. Yeah, I just thought that was a bit strange.
Wait, so you only went on dates with people who didn't agree to be on a TV show?
Sorry.
No.
We didn't film the dates.
our dates.
I see.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we would film before and after the dates.
I see.
We were doing dating, but
Yeah,
it
but
wasn't like,
I think
they weren't on camera.
Yeah, but I think potentially that's the difference now too, because me and Bryn were like, to Sophie and the sort of crew, we were like, it's too vulnerable to film a date. Like you're truly looking to see if you have a connection with someone. So cameras on that would be like, ugh. So that was kind of the deal we made, that we wouldn't film them, but we'd talk about them afterwards.
That's the one-on-ones though. But there's filming of us in like social big event dating events and stuff like that, and bars and that. Those are filmed. But it was more the ones we'd set up that we were like, here's me and here's my camera crew.
Yeah,
no.
But that's what I mean about season 2 in Italy. I think I'll be like, roll the camera,
Well, there's 5 more episodes where that came from. Thank you, Bryn and Ku for being on
you,
Behind
Mads.
the Story. Thank you to the spin-off members, some of whom are here tonight. Thank you to Q Theatre. And we do have one more spin-off event here coming up. If you are a fan of these two and also of Toby Manhire, come to our Gone by Lunchtime live event on Wednesday, April 9th. Tickets are at the URL right there, spinoff.co.nz/events. And that has been our special live recording of Behind the Story with Bryn and Ku.
The Spin-off Podcast Network.